So we are live on Facebook and it is 6:30. So I am super excited that we have a guest speaker with our team this evening. And Min has been one of those consultants that I have been admiring from a distance. Min is not on our team, so she very graciously offered to come and join our team this evening and do some team training. The first time I met Min, I never mentioned this to you when we chatted earlier today. Maybe you remember this as well. I'll let you share the story from your perspective. When we earn these trips from Norwex, they put us sometimes you'll get a slip of paper in your envelope. It will say, you get to have dinner tonight with Debbie Bolton, or you get to have dinner tonight with Amy Cadora. So I think I was sitting at Amy Cadora's table that evening, and the bubbliest, friendliest, happiest lady came and sat down beside me, and she was so excited to sit by me. And then she said to me, she goes, I feel like I know you. And I do get that more often just because of YouTube's, but then I had the privilege of meeting Min and her husband. And Min, I don't even know how many years ago that was, maybe 5 years ago, but you have absolutely exploded your business. Min, in my opinion, I don't know this for sure, but Min, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe you broke a record for Norwex globally last year with your sales. Oh. Min sold over $600,000 worth of product in 12 months.
I didn't know there was a record.
I'm going to say that was a record. I'm going to say that is a record. Oh. Because the previous record, I believe, was also you the year previous with $300,000 in sales. And I had never seen a number. We have seen 300,000 again. But Min, what I love about your story is that 3 years ago, you almost chose to walk away from Norwex. And I just look at the impact you have had on so many lives across North America, educating them about these amazing products. And sometimes people will say to me, Dolores, how do we know when there are enough consultants in an area? And my answer is always when Costco and Target and Walmart and Canadian Tire no longer need a cleaning aisle. That's when I'm done. So Min, I am so delighted that you are joining us this evening. And I am going to try to keep up with the questions. I'm not going to interrupt you unless you ask me to, but I am just going to let you go ahead. And Min, one thing that I know is, as a leader myself, sometimes people can look at what my team has accomplished or the things that I have earned in my business, and they're like, wow, I could never do what she does. But I'm going to tell you, not that long ago, Min signed up as a sales consultant. She had no bookings on her calendar. One day, Dolores signed up as a sales consultant, and not even my family bought product from me. So what I love about Humble Beginnings is that I say this is for absolutely anyone. So Min, we are sitting on pins and needles. We are excited to hear you teach us about how to launch a buying club and how to introduce it to our customers. You're going to share verbiage and images and everything from the grass level all the ways up. So Min, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Well, thank you so much. And I actually remember that's exactly how we met. And I actually, for those who know my story, it's interesting. I had a plan B when we got to Mexico. I was like, are they going to make us stay for a timeshare, or are they going to bamboozle us? Like, because I don't know anything about this company. So when they told me I earned a trip, I was like, what's the catch? Like, what companies, like, not only do you get a vacation, we're going to pay for it. Like, I couldn't even get vacations off, let alone someone paying for it. And at the Hard Rocks, I was like, there's something to it. So when I showed up and people were so nice, and then I met Debbie and all the people, and I was like starstruck because I watched Dolores, I watched, Sonia Nicole, I watched these people on YouTube, and they were who taught me, because we didn't have this amazing resources that y'all have now. So really utilize that resource. You pick your platform. We've given you hostess coaching. We've given you verbiage. We've given you follow-up. We've given you everything. I mean, Susan Bauer's like, let me get it all. Like literally we gave everything we possibly could give you guys so you guys can succeed. So now it's just up to you to grab it by the horn and run with it. So if it seems scary, that means you're in the right place. Why? Because no growth happens in your comfort zone, right? So when COVID hit and I had to go virtual, I was scared. I didn't do Facebook parties. I mean, I did Zoom, but just for my team. This was all very new, but I am so grateful that I didn't let fear, right? False evidence appearing real to stop me, because what would have happened? Norwex was our sole income. When my husband lost his job 3 years ago, we decided he was going to help us with Norwex, and this is all we did. So I looked at my calendar and I'm like, what happens to the 10 parties that I had booked? Because now we're in stay-at-home shelter, no one's going anywhere. Well, we're going to be, we're going to have to make some changes. And so that's what I encourage you guys to do. And whether you have 10 people in your VIP group, or if you've got, a small group of customers that you are servicing, that's okay. I have new consultants that have 20 people in the VIP group and launched an amazing buying club. And your first one will be small, and that's okay. But you keep on going and it will grow, and it will grow, and you will have this residual income. And I always tell people, think of why we're doing a buying club. So I look at our buying club as our way of providing a service and also giving back to our VIPs, right? That's why we do freebie Fridays, or we do little giveaways, because we want to give back to the people that are supporting our family, right? And I love that we use child labor. Use your children, the cute little chubby cheeks, and say, this is who you're supporting, because they want to know the face, right? People do business with people they love and they like and they trust, right? So put a face behind it and let them know that they are supporting this family right here. And people, it does warm their heart. So how do we continue that service? Well, we continue that service and continue that education in our VIP group. So if you don't have one, there's lots of training available. This won't be it, but create a group, and there's some step-by-step instructions and our resources that you can use, but create a group of people that are in your circle that you can add to it and provide and continue that education. And I will continue to share that with you guys, because education is what keeps people buying Norwex. Why? Because when people understand why, the how becomes easier, right? It's not about just, because I have to tell you, I was a pretty good cleaner. I'm kind of OCD, and I had my system and I had my products I loved, and they worked well for me, but I didn't know I was killing myself and my family in the process. I jokingly say I was a walking oxymoron, where we ate organic, but I Lysoled my kids. Well, not literally, but like everything that they touch, you know what I mean? So I thought I was the best mom ever for doing it. And I still can't understand how it passed my mommy radar, that the bathroom cleaner that I use actually wrote on the bottom that it will cause cancer and reproductive issues. How did we miss this, right? How many of us well-meaning mamas and, people out there miss that fine print? Because how many of us read labels? I read every food label. I never read the cleaning labels. So that education is what's going to keep people coming. I have people that come to my workshop and go, I didn't know anything about this, but I did use Norwex, you see. But people may get frustrated and go, oh, I don't know how to use it, or I don't know. And then they may stop. But if you continue that education and you go, you know what else you can do with this detergent? You know what else you can do with this? Do you know that all of our products are so versatile? Well, they're going to keep coming, because they're like, wow, one product does all this. So you see how you continue that education. So that's what buying club is. So if you kind of feel like on the fence, like, I feel like I'm making people buy. No, you are actually giving back. And even my VIPs would say it, who pays one of my customers said, you spend exactly the amount that you get back and free. Like, that's how big my buying club has gotten, where people will, let's say they spend a certain amount, will get that much in free products. People just want free and to try things that they normally would not buy, right? So buying club allows them to get more Norwex in their home, even to give away as gifts. So it allows them to be generous, but you get to continue your education, because every time we talk about a product and educate on it, and I'm going to touch more on that, people are starting to get excited about it. And they're like, oh, I can can add it to this. I can add this to my wish list. Oh, we can use it for that. So that's why. So if you feel a little bit on the fence about that, hopefully that helps you to change your mindset that this is our way to give back to our VIPs, to say thank you so much for your continued support, how much we appreciate you. So this is our way of doing that. So now, how do we do a buying club? Well, it sounds silly, right? People are like, what is a buying club? I mean, you can work your verbiage to fit whatever you want, but we call it a buying club. So what I recommend you do is I'm going to post on your page, like the graphics that I use when I first started, little things that I use so you guys can have an idea of how to share it. But I would recommend you go on your VIP group. And if you don't have one yet, I recommend you create one, or you can just send a message. And I don't know if you guys are all using Project Broadcast, but I love Project Broadcast. Connect with your leader if you don't know about it, but just either that, or at least just text and say, I am starting a new club. It's exclusive. And so you're making it, seem all like exciting, right? I say the 10 people, we're going to have 10 people join, and we're going to have more people join, but you say we need 10 people and everyone is going to buy at least $35 for 3 months. Okay. And you explain it. You have to explain what this buying club looks like, right? So then the reason we did 35, so you guys understand, is that our first level of hostess rewards is what, 350, right? And if 10 people buy $35, where are we? We're at 350, right? So what we do is kind of like if you've ever done a mystery hostess party, we're going to take the host rewards and we're going to divide it among the 10 people. Instead of picking 3 or 4 winners, everyone is guaranteed at least 3 to 4 products. You see, so everyone's a winner, basically. So I love that because it ensures everyone gets something free. So, and I have to tell you, more often than not, customers actually do not stop at $35. Plus, we don't have anything that's $35. So it's always like at least $21.99 and $25.99, or so it's always a little bit more. And because people start getting excited, some even spend $200, $300, $400. It happens. So because they might see a buying spend and get, or they might see a special that they want. So people will not just spend the $35, but even if they did the bare minimum of $35, 10 people will get you to that first level. Okay, let's see. All right, so pause if I'm talking. Let me know if you need a jump in, Dolores, if I'm going too fast.
No, not at all. But I just want to say, Min, one thing that I have said is the mystery of this business is October is my 20th anniversary in the direct sales industry.
Wow.
And I would be able to do a Norwex presentation with the same group of 6 ladies. I could see them for 6 consecutive months. And every time I saw them, they would spend $100. Mm-hmm. But then the mystery to me was, now, why is it if one of them all of a sudden joins, they don't even need laundry detergent? Like, it's so shocking to me, right? So what I love about the buying club is it makes us intentional about being in front of our customers and keeping them excited and educated about the products, because people don't know what they don't know, and they don't know they need it until we teach them how it will benefit them. So, and it gets back to you with the Lysol wipes. You didn't know until you didn't know. So, and once you knew, well, watch out, world, here comes Min.
Exactly. And so also what people started to get smart with is like, well, I would have bought this product at Walmart, so why not buy a better product, right? At a better discount and get freebies in the process? Because Walmart's not going to say, hey, you spent $35, now you get an extra 5 products. No, right? So people started going, well, you know what then? And they started becoming actually very strategic on when they buy this product and when they're going to buy this product. I have been doing Buying Club for several years. And do you know, I have people that have been on it this entire time. And I'm thinking, you've got to have more Norwex than me. But because we get new product, because we start educating and people start sharing their own testimony, people still want things. And we even have wish lists. We get a limited edition color and we're like, oh, I need that. I'm like we need another Enviro cloth, right? It's the same for our customers. Okay. So basically you're going to help them to see that you're going to buy this stuff anyway. Why not buy a better product and then get rewarded for it, right? So it's almost like a loyalty program. A lot of people have that. A lot of businesses have it. How many of you go to a store because you want to get a stamp? Because when you get to the 10th stamp, you're going to get a little cupcake or you're going to get something. It's the weirdest thing, right? We are like that. And people are excited about trying new things. And also, I think it's the excitement of getting something that they would normally have not bought. Like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to try that. And now I get it. Like one of my customers got the illuminating oil and she was so excited because she's like, I would have never bought that for myself, but now I get to try it. And now she's like, I can never run out. Do you see? People start getting hooked on our products. They start to love it. And that makes them also have confidence in more product. Because they're like, I've tried this, I've tried that. That's fabulous. Well, well does this work? You see? And now more people are going to want to buy. So you're just basically rewarding them for their continued support. And basically, it's our way of just showing our appreciation. So you're going to go live and you're going to pick and say, I'm first 10 people, and you create a little urgency. 2 more left, 3 more spots left. You guys are so amazing. I'm going to open up another one. What? You see, you create a sense of urgency, you create a sense of excitement, and go live and share it. We've got 8 people now, 2 spots left. And then people are like all wanting to get in. And then you can even incentivize people bringing people in too. Let's say your VIP group is a little small. We'll add a few of your guests. The first person to bring up a guest will get a special gift in their buying club. You see, it could be a travel enviro, a sample of our ultrasound, whatever it may be. People don't care as long as it's free. Then they're going to bring their best friend and go, guess what? I have people bringing people in my VIP group so they can be in my buying club, and they don't even know Norwex. They're like, I'm in. I'm like, have you ever been to a party? Nope, I'm in. Oh, okay, let's start with the basic, but people are excited and they're willing to share. How many of you call your best friend and you're like, you got to go to the store, their shoes are the bomb and they're 50% off right now? That store didn't call you and say, thank you so much, Christine. I appreciate your referral. I'm going to send you a coupon. No, right? But we get to do that. So that's why I love the buying club, because I always say, this is my way to give back to you because I love you and you guys are amazing for supporting our family. And I want to continue that. So that's how you're going to get people excited and doing it. So if you don't have a VIP group, send a text. If you don't have, but I do recommend creating one, so maybe this will be that kick in your boot to get going and create one, because it's an easy way to just touch more lives. Okay. And then you're going to go live and share it, create an urgency, create a post, and show what that looks like. So create a post, and and I'll share the verbiage and the sample pictures and everything later when we post it, but it's just that simple. Now, does that make sense? Can I move on to the next step?
Absolutely. So
Okay.
one of the questions had been, and we'll do questions and answers at the end. Okay, guys,
Sure.
because it's kind of like attending a party and you're talking about the window cloth and they pick up the descaler and they're like, what's this? And you're like, oh, I'm totally going to tell you about that. Just give me a shake. So let's let Min just go through her notes and share, and then we'll do question and answer at the end. But one question that I think you really just answered well, Min, is how do you get 10 people? Create excitement, right? Mm-hmm. And even if you have some Norwex products that you obviously already have in your home, if you're brand new and you only have your kit, you can show those products, right? And be like, I am so excited to help you get these products in your home. And first of all, to Norwex your home, but also Norwex it for free. So honestly, it's all about excitement. So whether they text, whether they email, whether they call, or whether they use voice message through Facebook Messenger, but the bomb has to be that you gather them in a group. So if you don't have one, start a Facebook group right now with the 10 people that you invite into your buying club.
Wonderful. Yes. And if you don't have it, just print it out. So print our host rewards, put it really big and say, look it. This is what's going to be in our buying club. And I'm going to show you how you could be strategic. So let's say that we got to the 550 level. You're like, we get 2 dishcloths, 2 Sperry sponges, right? So that's 4 gifts, right? We get our dishwashing liquid. We've got our mini produce wash. You see how we can break apart sets and we get multiple gifts and people get to try different things. Whatever you romanticize in your VIP group, that's what your people are going to love. Whenever I educate on one product, guess what the next orders are? All on that product. I went live, showed the lint mint, and everybody and their mama ordered a lint mint. Okay. I showed everyone the facial mint, and guess what they bought? You see what I'm saying? So whatever you share and excite, if you shared about the mattress cleaner and you say someone is going to get our mini travel mattress cleaner. Like that is my favorite thing in the world. And people go crazy when I talk about it because they want it so bad. I'm like, did you know this little, I take this with me, even when I go to the Ritz-Carlton, I don't care. I'm spraying everything down with the mattress cleaner because that's just how I am. Because you are sleeping with the enemy. I said, okay. I'm like, dust my feces, dead skin cells, bodily fluids. This baby's going to take care of it. So these people are like drooling because they're like, I want that. Someone is going to get this in their buying club. It's $4.99, guys. But these people are drooling and wanting this travel mattress cleaner. Or if you really want to up the ante and you're like, everyone who joins will get one. Can you imagine, right? Or you can always incentivize even more. I've gotten to a point where I'm like, if you spend $99 or more each month, you get an extra little bundle of goodies. And it's little sample stuff. And they all go gagas over it. And you could just take a little sample and put it in little resealable bags, and they get to try new products. People love it. So it's not so much what it is, but people get to try different things. People get to experience, and whatever you share and you romanticize and you excite them about, they're going to want it. So be strategic in what you educate on, because then that's going to be in the buying club and they're going to be excited because they're like, I want that. And there's a chance I get that for free. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. So when you close out, let's say the 350, right, or 550, what else do we get with that 550? We get that $55 shopping spree. Now you can choose, and you also have to be strategic too. Look at the host rewards for the month and go, at 1,000, only thing extra is one product. I'd rather close out a few 550s so I can get more product. You know what I mean? Be smart with your money. Be smart with the rewards and be like, okay, I get 20 products here, 2 here. Forget that. I'm closing 3 550s instead of 1,000 and 1. You know, see? So you're going to kind of play with the numbers as you start growing in your buying club. So what am I going to get with this $55 shopping spree? Well, think of things you can break up. Think of specials we have this month, right? This month, we've got our warehouse sales and we've got travel and virals. There's five right there, right? Think about things that you can break apart that are not big, expensive, like Sperry nets, you get 2. Sperry sponges, dishcloths, makeup removal cloths, right? Straws. Think of things that you can break up and have multiples of, right? And people also love it because they get to try new things that they normally would not. Oh, get a countercloth. I love this thing. Now I want a whole set. Countercloths are also on the warehouse sale. So be smart with your shopping spree and think, what can I maximize? And the more products I can get and give to my customers, to my VIP people. Okay. All right. So then after you do that, what I do is at the end of the month, I really share the excitement. We are already at this level, right? People are like, oh, we need to get to the next one, because you also get what? The buying guest, right? So when you have 10 people, you've got a kitchen cloth, you've got a kitchen towel. Maybe you get to 15. Now we've got 3 counter cloths, right? So there are plenty of products that we can divide up. And even if you do little sample packs, if you feel like I don't have exactly 3 to 4 products to give each person, but more often than not at the end of the 3 months, so you're closing out each month, okay? So for the month of September, I close out 550, then I open a new one and I'm the booking for October. And then I close out that one and then I open a new one. Now, let's say you hit 550, I would open a new one right away. So then what I do is I do my VIP group because it's easier that way. Otherwise, you're texting those 10, 15 people, right? This is why you want a VIP group. On the top of my post, on my announcement on my VIP group, my links change regularly because when I hit a certain tier, I change it. So all my VIPs know that when it's time to go buying club, they just go to the announcement, click on that link, and they place that order, and they're in the right one. Now, if let's say it happens to be on the wrong one that you haven't closed yet, we can move it, right? We've got 3 days for you to move it, so you can do it. So it's not the end of the world if you forget to, and you're like, oh my goodness, it went over. Sometimes it does, and I'm like, wow, let me move it, and you can't. Mm-hmm. So after you create, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, you finish your sentence, and then I'll just add just a quick thought.
No, go ahead. I forgot it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I was going to say, or use a link tree, because then you totally control by sharing the link tree. You just have to share the link tree once with your customers and at any time. And for those of you who just went cross-eyed, Dolores, what's a link tree? Now you scared me. I'm out. I'm going to tell you a link tree is free. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you Dolores figured out how to use Linktree by Googling what is Linktree? Then I watched some YouTubes and it was super easy. So I'm just saying it's an option. You don't have to do that. But man, I love how you just said, be strategic. So one thing that when you do farmers markets, okay, and if you're thinking about your price points for a farmer's market and you need to bring in $2,000 worth of inventory to sell at a farmer's market, you would be doing exactly what Min said. You would look at the hosting specials, you would add up the value. What would I get with a $500 party? What would I get with a $1,000 party? And you would decide how are you going to bring in your market inventory? So what Min's saying is exactly the same thing. And the link only works if you're an Office Suite member. If you're not an Office Suite member, trust me, this will pay for it. But if you right now, you aren't an Office Suite member, you can just tell people to message you their orders and you can input them. So what I'm saying is there are no excuses. You all can do this.
Absolutely. And so don't complicate it and don't make it hard for you. Because then what happens when our mind becomes a little bit overwhelmed, we stop, we don't do it, right? And so I want you to rip off the Band-Aid and go live and share it, because now you're obligated, because you let the cat out the bag and now the people are like, what are you talking about? So it makes you accountable and makes you do it. And I know it seems scary, but in the beginning, my first one was only 20 people. And I was like, okay, I'm happy. It was good. And it could be, and I've had, like I said, I have people that just started and they were only 8. And you're like, well, that's not a full 10 yet, but it went great. Her next one was 25. Is that interesting? So mine started out 20, then turned to 40, 60, 70, 80, and consistently I'm still there. Why? Because each time you go live and you share, and I'm going to tell you how to do that, it creates excitement, and people are like, they have FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. Like, what am I missing out here? Some people join my VIP group and are like, well, how are these people getting these box of goodies? I want in. And then here goes my VIP group. It's amazing. They're like, well, you have to make a purchase of $35 or more on 3 consecutive. They do my work for me. I'm like, yeah, you need to join me. Yes, come here. Because they're excited and they think it's the best thing since sliced bread. Do you understand? And I love it when my VIPs come to my defense. Like one was like, my box, something happened, whatever. She's like, you got the best box ever. What do you mean? Like, they're so encouraging to each other. And if anyone's a Debbie Downer, they're like, you better stop that, because that was wonderful. And she's so giving. And they're like always to my defense. So you become a family. And I love that. So create that excitement and connection in your VIP group. Okay. So that's very important, because and that's the number one thing in all social media, because I feel like the virtual world, we lose that element of connection, right? So you have to find a way to create that, and going live and sharing your heart and sharing your family and letting them in, and vice versa, and being, if you are friends with them and they talk about their children, well, make a comment, right? So build connection and relationship, right? I tell this to my team, and I'm like, I don't ever focus on the sale. Never look at the number. Make it about the people, make it about serving people. The sales, the bookings, the recruiting, everything will come. I promise you. I know it sounds crazy, but when you make it about the person, the people feel that you care about them. When they know that this buying club is because not so much so you can have make sales, but you want to give back. Because we could totally close out parties and keep it ourselves and be selfish, right? But we want to give back to our people, that they feel that. So when you make it about others and you make it about, that is the mission of why you want to do it, people feel it and they want to support it. And they feel the love that you are trying to portray. Okay. So after you go ahead and you close out those parties, so let's say that we've gone and we've done 3 months worth, right? So we did September, October, and now we're at November. Now, each month you're going to share what all the host rewards are going to be, and you're all excited. Now, at the end of the 3 months, now you can do 2 things. Number one, at the end of the first month, and you've got your 10 people, second month rolls in, you can go in and say, oh, I realized that Sylvia, you didn't place your order yet. Pauline, you didn't either. Glenna, you didn't. And then you can send them a message, right? I'm not that strict. I always make it up and I put it there. But what I do is, some people are like very strict with rules. I'm not, because I'm like, I'm trying to be now. You have to be careful with this one too, and I don't announce it, but I do make it special. So sometimes, let's say I'm picking on Christine because she's next to me. So I'd say, Christine goes, man, oh my goodness, life happened. My daughter was in an accident. And I fixed this. Da, 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 da. I missed June. Don't worry, Christine. Put in an order, just make sure it's over $80 at least, okay? So covering up the buying amount and stuff, and go ahead and put it in just for you, okay? Just don't tell anybody though, okay? So go ahead and put your order in. Christine's like, you're so sweet, thank you. It saves your shipping, so she doesn't mind going over a little bit, right? And usually they go over 99 because they want to spend again, so it's fine, you see. So some people are very rigid. I'm like, don't be so stern. People are, don't be sticklers. Like if they miss one, it's okay. You can double up on the next one. Okay. But they're good. They don't make it a habit. They're like, oh, and I promise I'll be on it next month. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hold you to that. But again, don't make it so scary, but make them feel special. Like, oh, okay, just for you, but don't tell anyone because it's just for you. And so people they feel the love, they feel, just make it nice, make it just people feel good about it, right? So after you do now I always do it at the end. Now you can do it every month. Some people do. I don't have time for that. I don't do it every month. I look at the end of 3 months. I'm like, okay, everyone, majority of 90% will do it. I'll have a few stragglers that missed one. And I'll be like, okay, make sure you get your at least 2 into this month. And you could do it each month or you can not. It's up to you. The best part of this business, you get to run it the way you want, right? So I just wait till the last month and I do an Excel little spreadsheet, or you can use paper and pen, whatever is easier for you. And just make sure there's 3 orders. 1, 2, 3. Yep. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then at the end of the 3 months, I divide everything. Now here's where the fun magic happens. Okay. So you're going to take a minute and it's worth it. It's so much fun. Okay. You're going to make little piles. You can do 2 things. Number 1, you can separate piles by amounts. Like these are my $20. These are my 50s, whatever. And then from each pile, each person gets 1. Or what I do is I create one little pile of a very similar value, each one, right? So I try to keep the values very similar, and then I draw a name. And then after I draw a name, I go, oh, in your box, you get this, you get that. And this is where the education comes, right? So my husband sold so many body balms for me because someone got a body balm. And then my husband's like, that's the best thing in the world. I get cracked heels and I put that on, put my sock on, and within a day, my heels are clean and it's healed. And people are like, what did he use? And all these people buying a body balm. Why? Because while giving and going over each bag or box of goodies, you're educating on how to use each product. Do you know my first live was an hour long? Everybody, even people who weren't even in the buying club, watched the whole thing. I've never had that much of undivided attention. It was amazing. But people were like excited for each other. And that's not even their bag, but they're waiting for their bag. And even if they got their name called, they still stay tuned because they want to know what else is in there. See how much fun that is? So you go live and you reveal and you share and you do the next one and the next one, and each one you're going to educate. Now, if you just educate on the body balm, you're not going to repeat it in the next one, right? But each one you're going to do something new, right? You're going to explain each item and share, okay, as you go down the line. After you're done, people are like, what was that? If they're not in it, I need to get in on this buying club, because how did they get 5 free products? Think of your favorite store. Let's say if your favorite store, you spend $35 for 3 months, they were going to give you 5 of your 3 to 4 or 5 products for free. Would you do it? I would. I was thinking of some of my favorite. I even launched it to one of my favorite makeup line reps. And I was like, you should do a buying club. Do you know how much her buying club buy-in was? $150 for 3 months. I was like, girl, you lost your mind. I'm sorry. That's just craziness. Okay. That's bananas. I wouldn't for like 1 free product. So the reason we can do this is because Norwex is so generous so we can be generous. Other Hostess Rewards programs are not like ours. It's not just a 50% off item. We get free stuff. People don't have to spend a cent if they don't want to, and they get free stuff. So thanks to Norwex's generosity, we can be the same. We can be generous with our products, okay? All right. So after you share that excitement, I'm going to tell you what I've evolved to. Now, I no longer, I call it the mystery. Everyone loves, and I did this because it was a lot. By the time I got to this point, I had like a lot of people and I started to lose track. And somehow the paper flew out of one bag and got into another. And it caused a little bit of a little problem because someone got another person's box and fixing that was a pain. So guess what I said? Everyone loves surprises. So this is the beauty of a business. We can do what we want, right? Everyone loves surprises. So guess what? I'm going to show you what's in different bundles and you're going to get one of these bundles and it's a surprise. So when you get your bundle, you take a picture of it and then you post it. Now, if you go live and share how you use it, you get 2 entries. And everyone who goes and takes a picture of their bundle or goes live and share, they are going to go in on a drawing for the beach towel. And people go crazy, right? Everyone's so excited and they're taking pictures, they're going live. Some people are like, we're going to reveal it together. And they do their own box reveal. They are like running with it because they want that beach towel. So now I don't have to worry about whose box is what. I just make sure the value is very similar. I take a box and I go do down the line, slap a sticker, done. Do down the line, slap a sticker, and I'm done. And people are taking pictures and they're excited. And then everyone goes in on the drawing. At the end of everyone gets their shipment, I pick a winner. So that's just what I do now because it just makes my life easier. When it was smaller, I love going live for each bundle and going through each one and picking a name for it. So I recommend you do that in the beginning until it gets so big, then you can do it like I do. But even that's fun. Any questions before I continue?
I do have just a couple. First of all, one person had asked, have you ever asked for more than $35 per attending customer?
Absolutely. And I know Canada prices are a little bit higher too, guys. So you could up the ante and do 35, 45, 50. It's up to you. But I'm going to be honest, in my experience, people never spend $35. No, right? Plus, it's hard to get to 35 with our products unless you get, you know what I mean? Because our prices are kind of a little bit $29.99, right? So you have to get another product. Unless you get 100 Sperry sponges each month, it's not going to work, right? So people want to try different things. But what happens is, like I said, when people start trying new things, they're like, this thing's amazing. So in 3 months, I'm going to reorder the Ultrazyme. Oh, if this Ultrazyme is this good, how good is their leather shine? Or if this is that good, how good is that? So people start to have more faith in our product. And like us, like, you know how we're like, if Norwex made it, it's amazing. Just like that, they start doing that. Like, oh, it's Norwex product, you know it's good. Like I have my VIP say that because we had new products launched. How do you like it? You know it's going to be good because they already started building that trust and they have that because they know our company is built on integrity and trust and honesty. So they start to build that. And so they're like, okay, I want this product and I want that product. And so they're starting to try new things, but rarely do they do that, but it's up to you. Start it at 40 if you like. 40 is still really a good price point. Think about it. 43 times once, for 3 months and you get 3 to 5 products. That is a really good deal. Really good deal.
Do you do it on number of products or value of products?
So that's, again, your choice. Now, to make it easier for you guys, I would say 3 to 5 products, because then a Sperry sponge is still a product, right? Well, if you said everyone's going to get $100, well, then you better work a little harder, right? So I would definitely start with just free product. So it makes it a little easier. And as it gets bigger, now I put a value. Because I got into that point. Plus, I love my VAPs that I'll even pull from my own stash because Norwex is so generous and they give us stuff that I'm all about giving. If I receive it free, I give it free. So, you can always do that too. But I would start with just a quantity in the beginning so it's manageable. It's easier to find a product than a dollar value.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what about for people who say, I just want to put in one big order? So instead of putting in 3 orders over 3 months, can you explain why that doesn't help the consultant? Go for it, Min.
Yes. So I let people know that I said, do you see each host rewards in each month is different. So you don't want just the rewards for October, right? For September, next month, someone's going to get the entry mat. Oh my gosh, guys, right? So we want to make sure we get the host rewards for each month, and buying on each month, you get the opportunity to get that as well. So you go, oh, of course I want that, right? So I let them know, and each time they make a purchase, that quantity also ups the gifts because it's also based on buying guests. So I always let them know that it's to their best interest, as well as to get more free products to do it that way. And I've never had any pushback.
Absolutely. But I think that's important for consultants to know that that is the deal. They need to put it in one order for 3 consecutive months. But then of course the secret grace is always there, right? That if they reach out to us. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then can people join your club partway through?
So again, it goes back to that whole grace, secret grace. Like if I had a really great VIP and she's like, oh my goodness, man, I was going to, and I completely forgot, I give her grace. But more often than not, I say, oh, guess what? Our next one will start in 2 months and you are on the list. So I will let you know when it starts, you know, so you create a little sense of urgency too, for people to be on their ball game, you know, especially if it's a habitual person. But for the most part, my VIPs are on it. They're very good because they're actually better than ours. Like, okay, it's the 15th. Do we know the special? Like they're on it. They're ready. And yeah. So people are going to do that. And you will find that more people, that's where you end up actually even having your own recruits, because there are people that are going to take charge and be amazing. And that's where you keep your eyes open, right? For those amazing people that you're like, you know what? I love how much, you know, energy you bring to the team and to the VIP group. And I would love to partner with you. Have you ever thought about doing something like this? Because I need you as my wingman. You are so awesome. You know, they're going to be like, oh, okay, I actually thought about it. You see what I'm saying? So you will see the gems like kind of shine through as you do your VIP group, and you see the people that are grateful. And so it does really create a really wonderful relationship in your VIP group among each other, but even with you when you do it. So it's a great thing for your VIP group.
Okay, so just to reiterate, one thing that you want to do is you want to keep the excitement in your VIP Facebook group. Don't start extra Facebook Messenger groups. Keep the excitement in your Facebook group. Go live, feature the product. Every time you put on your hair wrap, put hair cream on, brush your teeth, go live, show people what you're doing and why it's so fantastic and why they want it in their home. And I know for me, I do text the ladies in my group. So I do that separately, but that's how I communicate with them on their own. So I do text them separately, but I would definitely keep all the excitement and the communication right in the group. Min, can you talk quickly about shipping? So obviously if they live local, they can come pick it up. And I love kind of a copay for shipping. So do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I know Canada's shipping is a lot different than ours, and I know it. So first and foremost, I want you to take a second and you have to check your mindset. Okay, why do I say that? People are like animals. We smell fear. Like we smell when something is off, right? So let's say, Christine, I'm going to pick on you. So let's say Christine does not like our shipping charges, right? And let's say she feels that way. Well, somehow I'm going to smell it. I'm like, why is your shipping charge so much? I just ordered a body cloth. Do you see what I'm saying? So sometimes that's the problem with our mindset. If we have that mentality, it will convey whether we say it or not. So first, I want you to say our shipping rate it's really amazing, right? We ship to Hawaii with the same price. We don't even up the charge to go to Hawaii. Like Norwex is phenomenal in that. And I always tell my customers and I very rarely does it happen, but if it does, I go, you are more than welcome to give me $120. And like Amazon Prime, I will give you free shipping for a year. No problem. I got you, girl. Let's do it. And they go, yeah, no, I'll just pay for it. Right. People are not going to do that unless you're on Amazon, you are an empire and own a shipping right? Like we can't do that, right? So I understand that. So first check your mindset. People don't care about it. I even have people like for my buying club, I do a flat $7. And you guys can choose your own. I do a flat $7, and some consultants don't charge at all, and they eat it because they feel like they did 3 months of it. I don't. I'm like, you are getting $100+ in freebies. $7 is nothing. I would pay $7 for that, right? So I don't think, and I even have customers that go, my box seems a little heavy. if you need a little bit more for shipping, let me know and I will send you a Venmo. I'm like, you're fine. I love you. You're good. Do you see what I'm saying? But it's all about our mindset and how we share it, right? Because if you have a hang up on it, guess what? You're going to portray that to your customers. You're going to portray that to your VIPs. So you go, oh my goodness, you're going to get this entire box. I do incentivize people coming to our home and picking it up. In the beginning, my first one, I had everyone get a reusable bag if they came and picked it up. I had everyone lined up, even though it was COVID, I would have porch pickup. I was just leaving it on the bag, and people would come and get it. But, you can incentivize porch pickups easily. People will drive. It's funny, 30, 40 minutes for extra product. It's wonderful. So you can incentivize that if you don't want to ship it. Set your flat rate or whatever will be a manageable number for shipping rates in Canada. And then be very careful when you order things, right? So don't order a toilet brush. That's going to be hard to fit in a box. So be strategic even when you pick your freebies, when you're shipping things, on how to do it. Sometimes I'm like, oh, for big items like the mop or like the giant entry mat, I had a few people that want it, and then they would have to pay a little bit extra to have it shipped. So you could do that in the beginning. And people have no problems paying a little extra dollars to get a full mop system or that extra large entry mat. I promise you, they don't care. They don't care. Okay. Because that's over $100 right, guys? So don't assume that people are going to have a hang up about it. Set a reasonable amount, right? Can't be outrageous, but set a reasonable amount and say those who pick up will get this and an extra little gift for picking up. Otherwise, it's a flat this amount to get it shipped to you.
So one thing I just want to confirm is that for their 3 consecutive orders, they are going to your website, they are placing the order themselves, they are paying the shipping, and you don't even see it. And a great way for you to track it to see if your people actually put in 3 orders is you can just go to your Norwex history and search their name, and by date it tells you the last 3 orders they put in. So you don't have to be Nancy Drew running around with a black checklist trying to figure out who put orders in. You can literally just look at it in the back office and see who ordered, how much was their order, and you can easily make sure that all 3 of their orders went in, and it goes in on your website. You don't even see it, you don't even touch it. We're talking about the shipping of all the freebies. Correct. And in Canada, there is a box that you can go to Canada Post and you can prepay for a box, and you can load it full of stuff. You can stuff it full. And I did tell my customers that their options were either pick up at my house, which was no charge, or they could say that they could opt in that they would like me to ship it. And then in brackets, I put that they'd have to pay me $10. So I kind of just got out in front of that because I thought, if there's like heavy laundry detergent or if liquids, whatever it is, if the box is a bit heavier, and either way, if I have to pay $25 for the box, they pay $10, I pay 15 gladly. Like what on earth? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so, Stephanie, you asked like for big entry items, I actually asked because some people may already have a mop and not interested. So I'll say for those who want to be entered into the raffle for the mop, comment here and it will be an extra $5 or whatever, right? Same thing with the entry mat. And then I just divide the raffle from those people that actually want it.
Perfect. Excellent. Okay, so you kind of already touched on this, but in regards to referral gifts or creating urgency for people to join your buying club, what are different strategies that you've done for that?
So as I mentioned, incentivize, right? It's like children, reward good behavior, right? So whatever you want, incentivize it, right? And like I said, people just care about what they can get for free, so it doesn't even have to be a big item, but say anyone, and you could create a post and say anyone who adds someone to the VIP group, or anyone who adds someone to the buying club, because when you add someone to your VIP group, that's already an end, kind of a way in to get them into the buying club, because now they're in there, they're looking at all the things going on, they're like excited about what is all this freebies people are getting. So even if they're not in on the first one, they will want to be on the second one, right? So just getting people in there. So sometimes I just do I've done things like when it was teacher like with schools or with nurses, I say, who would you like to nominate to get a little gift from me? And it could be some samples, right? It could be a sample enviro window, it could be an MVP pack or whatever you guys want to do. You would nominate them, but you have to add them to the group. They have to accept and comment below. And I had so many teachers being added, so many nurses, and every time they do it, and my gifts are a little bit bigger because I can do that now, right? But even if your gifts are smaller, again, people can do some crazy things with a travel environment, right, guys? So it doesn't mean it has to be big. But when you do that, people are like, oh, I totally want my Aunt Susie, who's a nurse, to get this gift. So they're going to nominate them and then add them to the group, and they're going to accept because they want the gift, you see? So you can incentivize people adding people to your VIP group that way. You can also just reward people that, okay, if you add someone and they join our buying club, you're going to get an extra freebie as a gift from me. Right? So it could be, again, you could say, I'm going to raffle off this travel mattress cleaner, right? And so now everyone wants to add someone. So pick something, romanticize it, and then use that as an incentive to get people, adding people to your VIP group or adding them to join your buying club.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think the other thing that's important is talk about, this is not just for your local area. Who do you know that lives anywhere across the country, right? Because it's about getting the word out there. That's the beautiful thing about what all this online business, and I was like you, man, I did not do any online business prior to COVID. I didn't. I was like, that is not for me. I'm a people person. Like, I'm not into that. Mine are never successful. And they actually weren't. But when a year and a half ago, I had to relearn, okay, I'm either choosing to be in business or I'm choosing to be out of business. So I had to relearn how to do my business. So, all right, Kay. And then, do you incentivize people who buy more? Like if you kind of are watching people's numbers come in, can you talk about that?
Yep. As I shared with you that nobody ever really spends 35 or more, but I have customers that spend $200-$300 every month. I'm like, not 350, it's 35, but people are actually buying a lot more. So then I started to incentivize, if you spend over $100 each month, you're getting a bonus little bundle from me. Guess what everyone's spending? Over $100. Not only do they get a spend and get, they get that extra bundle and they want it. So it allows me to be extra generous with my buying club, as well as they get so much out of it. That's what they say. Who gets that much in free, right? And I have people have no problem. Some people, because we get flash sales, will buy multiple. Like they do a 35 because they wanted to accomplish their first buying club. And then we get a flash sale and they're like, I need more. And there are sometimes 2-3 orders in 1 month from one person. Right. So I want to thank people that are doing that above and beyond. Right. So I always say, I look at the numbers, and when I print them out, I'll write it down, just write their name and how much their first order, second order. And when you see that this one person is always spending 100, 200, 300 each month, give them something extra, right? And really incentivize that. And before you know it, more and more people are actually spending more than the $35.
Well, Min, what other thoughts do you have for us, beautiful girl?
Oh, well, I just say that, if it's scary, it's okay. I know when I first, oh my gosh, I didn't want to do it, but I went live and shared it. Why? Because then I was accountable. So I want you to go without knowing all the details, because sometimes we feel like we need to know it all. You will not. And as you do it, you're going to make mistakes, and it's okay. That's the beauty of this business. Guess what? You're the owner. No one's going to yell at you. It's great. So go make mistakes, and it's okay. Don't expect everything to be perfect to get it right. I'm like, okay, you know what, guys? I had my hiccups, right? And I was like, I'm changing this, because if you don't like something, either you delegate it or you find a new way to do it, right? I didn't like that. And I was like, there's got to be a better way. Now I love the mystery box. It saves me from going live for 7 hours, and everyone's excited about it. And some people are like, I can't wait for my surprise. And people are even excited, like, I got mine and I'm California, so you should be getting yours soon. Don't worry. Like, they're so cute together. The people are just creating so much. So I promise you, it's going to be awesome. I know it's scary, but do it and you will not have any regrets. If you have 5 people, that's okay. Make the most of it. Say, we need at least 10. And if you've done your best, run with that 5, because the next one, guess what, will be 10. and then it'll be 15. Don't give up. It's kind of like a vendor event. How many of you have done a vendor event? Let's see your hands. You go to your first vendor event and you're like, that was the worst and the waste of my time. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? I did my first and I was like, why is everyone like vendor events? What kind of, right? But then the secret sauce to vendor events is that you're there every single year, because they're like, oh, that Norwex girl, she's at this vendor event. That Norwex girl will be at that vendor event. So you become almost iconic for that area. You see me? That's when the sales start to come. Do you see? Because it's not the first year, it's not the second year, and we don't do it for the sales, but that's where your bookings, your recruiting. But you're saying, just like that, your first buying club may not be that good, and it's okay. Be ready for that. But your next one will get better and get better and get better and get better. And then you will not only, and remember, why are we doing the buying club? Because this is our way of giving back. This is our way of thanking our customers. It's our way of giving them, something to thank them for their support. So when you change the reason why you do it, it feels so much better when you're doing it. That's how I am. Like, I hated hosting because I felt like I was making my friends buy. But I'm like, that's why I do my workshop the way I do. I say, even if you buy nothing, I hope you learned something new today and it was of value to you. People like, I didn't even know it was an hour. I learned so much. This was amazing. I want to go again. I want to share this experience with my friends and family. Why? Because they felt it was of value, right? So think of it, when you make it about the other person, you're like, I get to service my customers. I get to shower them with goodies. I get to do that. Well, that's going to shine through. It's not going to feel icky. Like, if you can buy $35. I mean, I know it could be a lot, but $35. And then, no, we're giving back. We're giving them so much more. So when you feel it and you believe it, you're going to deliver it that way. And people are going to want to join it because they're like, this is amazing. I want to take part in it. I love supporting you. I was going to support you anyway, and you're going to incentivize it. Why not? It's a win-win.
So, Min, one more thing that I just would love you to touch on. First of all, you're going to have to take a minute to read all the comments because our team is just blowing up, loving on you. But one thing that I don't think we covered, and I do have it in my notes here, but do you ever ask your customers what they're looking for and how do you fulfill that? I'm going to let you touch on that for a second.
So as I said, it gets better and better, right? So now what I do is I actually do a Google Doc, and if you don't know how, no problem, you can just text them. I say, what are some things you would love to see? What has been on your wish list, right? So that's in my little Google Doc, and they write it on there. So when I look at their list, I try to give them at least one of their wish list items each time. So if someone's like, oh, I've been eyeing that, mini cleaning cream paste thingy, they were like eyeing that. Well, I'm going to slip that one in there. Someone's like, I've been eyeing a bath towel. I'm going to slip a bath towel in theirs. If someone was like, I've always wanted a back scrubber, I'm going to, so it's something about, you get all these surprises, but in there was that one gem that you wanted to try so much. So now I've gotten to a point where I actually create that so that when I go through it, I look at their list and I will provide at least one thing. And then I also watch my live. When they go, oh, that counter cloth is so cute, then I write down, oh, they really like that counter cloth. It is a relationship business. I know this is kind of just my personality. Like if I'm hanging out with Dolores, like I don't know if Dolores remembers this. She gave me a tip and she said, I incentivize my host that if she has a booking before I come, she gets a bag of laundry detergent. I don't know if she remembers, she told me that. And I was like, that is genius. That is a great incentive, right? So when you pay attention to what people say, they give you hints on what it is. Like if Christine's like, oh, my feet hurt so much, I would love to have these fuzzy socks that are supposed to be blah, blah, blah. When the next time when I know Christine's down, I'm going to go grab those fuzzy socks that she absolutely loved, and I'm going to send it to her. You see what I'm saying? That is where that relationship business comes from. So look at the comments between your customers. If they're like oohing and ahhing over a facial mitt, well, make sure they get a little facial mitt in their little baggie. You know what I mean? So there's little things that we can do that we get to provide. And that's where the customers start to feel the love. They get to feel that it is a relationship and that you really do care about them and they're important to you. And they want to continue to support you and add more people to your VIP group so they can experience that same connection.
Min, this business is successful when we become servants.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I believe that we are stewards, first of all, of our own health. We are stewards of this earth that we are blessed to live on. And we are stewards of the kids that God has given us, but we're also stewards of the customers that God has given to us. And, you know, I just love that we can. Other direct sales companies, consultants pay for the host rewards. Like, it just blows my mind how generous, like how often have we done a Norwex party and they're like, this is all mine?
Yeah.
Like all $500 worth. What I love about this approach is it distributes the goodness to more people. And you just get to love on them and you get to give them what they're looking for. And Min, I just want to say thank you for your time. Min has offered to do a bit of a Q&A as well. I'm going to wrap this part of it up because we're approaching an hour. But if you do have any questions, if you are in the Solution Team Facebook group, I'm going to be putting up a post that you can ask questions in that chat. But if you are not in that group, your leader is. So you can ask your leader to ask your questions and she will certainly get back to you. So Min, what I know is that a brand new consultant could start this today. I know someone who has been with our Norwex team for 6 years and who has never done anything online could start this today, because everybody is laundering their clothes with something. They're running their dishwasher with something. They're washing their hair. They're washing their face. They're cleaning their floors with something. And Norwex's products aren't a luxury. Everyone is cleaning their toilet with something. So Min, thank you. Thank you. I just think you are an absolute gem and I can't wait to see you in Cancun.
Yay, so excited. Thanks for having me. This was awesome. Love my Canadian sisters. You guys are amazing and you have an amazing leader. Thanks for having me. And yes, I will post on the group, on the Facebook group, my verbiage. I'll even share my Google Doc, my original one, if you want to copy and paste and use it. I'll give you some sample verbiage that I used when I first did it. Definitely tweak it because it's not good, but I'm just giving you something to work with. And I'll even give you my graphics that you can tweak and make, but just kind of so you have an idea of what it looks like. Nothing fancy, but it's just, it does the job. So I'll share all that with you on your team page in a little bit, and feel free to ask as many questions. And as you launch it, you're going to get questions and feel free to ask, no problem. I'm an open book. And, you know, I feel like Norwex is so generous and such an amazing blessing in our life that sharing is caring, right? So we share with everybody. And so I hope this was helpful for you guys. And I can't wait to hear the success. I did this with another Canadian leader and their team has blown up with Buying Club because they're doing so well. One message me goes, I've never had $400 orders, Min. What did you send this way? So I am sending all those good things to you guys. So you guys will do amazing in your Buying Club and your business.
Min, thank you. Thank you so much. You are absolutely exceptional. Okay, team, it is 7:30, so we are wrapping this up. And Min, thank you again so much for your time. And a shout out to all the consultants who showed up, because those who show up go up. Have an awesome evening. Take care.
Thank you.